Graham Emmanuel. I'm a digital researcher, and this is a project, the last one of all the ones that I've done regarding taking data from surveys of different projects in Wales. Now I'm doing this video so people can see how I work using AI to extract the data and creating maps from it. So the first one is, this is how I set up myself. There are 5 different windows here that I use. This one over here is where I'm going to be creating my map. It's already been opened up in Google My Maps. These are maps that I've already created, as you can see, like benchmark different maps of the counties, one of the history of Kidwali, exploring Wales. There's quite a lot in here, but a lot of people don't understand how they're created or how to use them for historical purposes. So this one window is for creating a new map. Now this one over, now the one best me go behind it. Now behind it, this is Claude AI that I use for doing my work and getting all the different things together. So I'll go through this. This is from the beginning. This is what I said. You know the number of projects we have done using data to create a map from KML files of the OS grid reference data of archaeological surveys as we have missed. So he then gave me the answer, and what it came up was that we haven't done the World War II defence structures. That is pillboxes, anti-tank blocks, coastal gun batteries, and stop lines, etc. So this is everything that it could find at the beginning. So there's so much in there. So what it said is that we need to look a little bit more into it. So this is what I then replied with my prompt. Shall we start with the map, then build our article as before, researching each layer in order, agree listing of the type of layers, then an intro section and summary section when everything is compiled. Has this been done, this interactive, with the use of this data incorporated in a functional map? It replied to me then, it was a good plan. Same sequence as before, build the KML. So it's going through the process of what we've already done for Roman Wales, and we are now going to implement using on World War II defences. Now it then went through all the databases that's in there and what exists, suggesting, it said, so genuinely useful, the honest framing for the PCW article, not the first map of this size, but the first kind of Wales in the same tradition as we are other work. So and then he's telling me, suggesting how we structure it, structure the layers, structure it, open it up with 1, pillboxes, 2, anti-tank obstacles and roadblocks, and then 3, coastal gun batteries, stop lines as connecting lines similar to your Drovers Roads treatment, other structures, observation posts, radar stations, if the data supports it. And then what it's then is asking me a question. Shall I pull the Coflein and Defences of Britain data for Carmarthenshire first, as you did county by county with the benchmarks? So it knows how I'm working. So it knows how I think. So it's now guiding me and asking me. And then I said to it, didn't we do a Wales master first? Then Carmarthenshire as the example from which we build the rest of the country, Wales. Now, as you notice, I'm talking to Claude as if I'm talking to a person. And that's how it is. It's got to know how I work. He knows how I think. And now I'm talking to it because I know how it thinks as well. So it answers me back. Yes, that's right. For the benchmarks project, the sequence was pull the full Wales data set and publish the master first. So then build it, command manager in detail, etc. And then with its own KML files, so it's telling me exactly all the process that we can do. So it says it's making sense of the following pattern for the World War II defences. So this is what is now going to structure the map, how we're going to create it. Wales master map. Pull all the full EDOB defences of Britain dataset for Wales. Filtered by the Royal Commission's county boundaries, as usual, is what we tried to do is, because these were done before the new boundaries were done, I tried to keep all these data sets to match the boundaries back in the time when this survey was done, to keep it in context with it. So command manager worked well because we knew, because what we did with command manager, because that's where I live, is to use that as our guideline then, our master copy. So based on what we do with command manager, we then use that to format all the other counties to match it, just keeping it consistent then. And then it's asking me, shall I start by checking what's actually downloadable from the Defence of Britain archives? Dataset for Wales as a whole. Same first step as we did before building the benchmark master. Now, it's doing this because we need to find the data that we can actually use, and we actually make sure as well that everything we get has got the data there for the Ordnance Survey locations. So I've given it the prompt now, yes, start. And then it's evaluating it then. So it's a quick, honest update before we go further, Graham. See, she's talking to me now. The Defence of Britain data itself is awkward to pull automatically. So what it's saying to me that Claude itself can't download this file. So what it's saying is that the ADS download page does not hold the full relational database, area, cartographic, reference database, etc. as a pipeline delimited text files. But the actual file link sits behind their page's own link structure in a way that I can't resolve through search or fetch. I can see the file list, but not the grab files themselves. So it's the DOB Google Earth overlay, the one behind the interactive map, is hosted as a shared Dropbox folder, which I also cannot read programmably. So what it's telling me now is that I need to go and download that file. So without me going all the way down through, so I've gone down to the bottom. So he said, should I start scoping the rough data on it? So I said, do what you think is best. That's all we can do, right? So what it's done then is gone through all the different, what he found and all this, so I don't want to keep reading all the way through. And anyway, so where was I? I missed a bit. Hang on a sec. Looking for the download file. Anyway, what happened is then, it actually takes me then over to this file. Now this here up the top, if I'll highlight it, there. Now that's the file that I downloaded that the Claude gave me a link to open, and this is where it went. So in here, it asked me to get the spatial one file and the CSV, which I've done. I click download, and now this, hang on a sec, go down here, here we go, have a look, it's got it behind here somewhere, hang on a sec, shift that over a bit, there, I didn't leave a gap, did I? Right, there's the file. So before I put that file up, I need to go back in here, and this is what I did. Because I'm doing this video, there, right. So what it did, what I asked it to do, because I want to record this, and step by step, I did here we are. This is what I said to Claude. Because every time I keep trying to explain to people how I work, it's very difficult for people to understand, because I've developed this system myself. So this is the prompt I gave Claude from the beginning. And it says, been thinking a while we are doing this project, would it be possible to document our process in achieving our end product, or how we got to what we are creating, so we can share our methodology step by step so people can find it difficult to follow. General can see my mindset and your response in developing the map creation process, how we then add the information on each entry and each layer, and how we then close it with our intro and summary. While doing this, I'm going to do a screen video record in 30-minute intervals. Also your thoughts. Now this is obviously part of that video record, and that's a generally good idea. So we've agreed how we're going to proceed now. So it's going to structure it for me. And what it did then, one thing I like about Claude, it actually does a word link in it. So it's written now, the first part of it. So what it's going to do, as we are going through, it's going to add to this. Now this is the file over here. This is the file it's created for me. Now I can add pictures in here of the map when it's finished, of the World War II defences. So it's already written it down. So why this document exists? Now he's putting it. This is not the article itself. It is the working log that sits alongside it, a record written as we go rather than reconstructed afterwards. Because I found when we reconstructed it afterwards, it was difficult to go through it. So I thought, let's do it from the beginning. Claude can write it from the beginning and add to it as and when we need to. So this is what's happening. So these are the first two stages, the brief, and then the source evaluation. It was already written in here, the prompts that I asked it to do, and it gave me then the answer. So this is all the different attempts that we've done to get where we are now. So let's go back to, so we're back in here now. So the next part I'm going to do now is to go here, because I said to it that I've got the file ready for Claude. Now this is where I'm going to put in here. This is the CSV file you wanted downloaded. Right, so what I'm going to do is click on here, add the file. Right, so go to the recent one. So I open it, it's the World War II Defences of Wales, and this is the file. So I'll open the file. Wait for it to be uploaded. Well, I did this for the benchmarks of Wales. It was 46,000 entries. Can you imagine having to try and do that on your own without artificial intelligence to do it for you? Now, what it's going to do with this file is it's going to sort it all through, and it's going to create KML files for me in order of how I'm going to create this map. Now, it's huge. I found this by chance, that Claude could create KML files, And from that, this has given me the process of being able to do my work the way I am, but also what I've instructed it to do, that it conforms with the People's Collection of Wales is guidelines, and also for Coflein's guidelines, the Royal Commission. So there we are. Now it's been, see, this is the Royal Commission's file. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to now give it the prompt to work with it. See, so it's going through its process now, update, processing, confirmed. There's 112,894 site records. Now this is what's crazy about this. It's going to create all these drop-ins for the map, but within those drop-ins is all the data for that actual location. It's phenomenal. This is just huge. So, and now he says, let me know when you're rolling and I'll filter it down. Ready to record. Okay. Start on the first one. This is the waiting bit. What I'm going to do is once the first KML file is done, I'm going to stop it then with the video recording, because I want then to do the next one as they're creating the map section. So I'll do this one as the process of just sorting the data out first. So this is going to, now you've got to remember, this is trying to process 116,000. Is it, how much is it? 112,000. Now this is what is broken it down to already. Said this is a natural checkpoint. The master data set is filtered the scope. Here's what actually is in it. The 711 defence-related records found across Wales sorted into layer groups we discussed. Pillboxes 264, military camps, buildings and training 203, anti-tank obstacles and ditches 98, observation posts and radar stations 56, coastal anti-aircraft gun batteries 34, roadblocks and minefields 39, air raids and civil defence, home guard 16, stop lines, named lines, etc. Command and stop line 1. One decision worth pausing on before we go further: military camp buildings and trainings is the second biggest group of 203, but it's a broader category than anti-invasion defences. It includes training camps, barracks and depots that aren't strictly part of the 1940 invasion defence story. Your brief started from the including it turns into more of a World War II military Wales project. Leaving it out keeps it tightly focused on the pillboxes. All worth noting, only one record is typed purely stop line. The stop line command exists as a single parent record in Coflein, with everything else, blah blah. Your call. I will go with you on this one. What is your gut feeling? So I'm going to let Claude decide. Just going to give me, it's usually right. I said, to be honest, I haven't got a clue. So it said, leave it out. There we are, my honest read. It said, the brief was pillboxes, anti-tank defences, gun batteries and stop lines. The physical anti-invasion network of 1940 to 1941, that's a coherent, tightly bound story with a clearly narrative arc. The same way Wings of War was specifically about crash sites and not RAF Wales in general. Military camps, barracks and training sites are a different story. Logistics and mobilisation rather than defence. And is also the messiest category data-wise. 200, 300 records that are vague catch-all types, many of which will need for more digging just to say something meaningful about each one, unlike a pillbox, where the type code or alone tells you most what you need. Pulling it in risks turning a focused, evidence project into a baggier, more than harder to finish to the same standard. My instinct keep it as an anti-invasion defence box, Wales, pillboxes, anti-tank obstacles, gun batteries, observation posts, roadblocks, minefields, home guard, civil defence, and the stop lines that tie them together. That's still 508 records, a strong sized project on its own. If the camps and training sites keep nagging at you, then they'll make a good future companion project in their own right. So what it's telling me is to concentrate on what I'm focused on originally, leave this one as a separate project that I can create as a standalone one. Something like Wales under arms camps, depots and training grounds. Same pattern as how Roman Wales and the benchmark archives each spun out as a group notice. So what I'm going to do now is I will stop this session before we proceed. Stop this video. Session before we proceed. When I will prompt you to create the KML files. So what I'm saying to it now is that I'm going to stop this video recording so I can save it, and then we'll start again then from here. So let's see what he says. Yeah, sounds good, Graham. I'll be here. Just prompt me when you're rolling the game. I'll get straight into building the KML. So he's already going to build the KML files ready for me. Incredible. So that's the first part of this project. So I hope that in doing this, that you can follow me step by step. So you can see, like, I'm working, it's not one window. I'm working with